Here we go. This past Election Day, voters in 2 states, including our neighbor Missouri, approved recreational marijuana. Oklahomans will have the chance to vote on that this coming March. Today, attorney Alexis Gardner is here with us after looking over State Question 820 to talk about some of the key legal takeaways from what at this point is a state question. Good morning, Alexis.
Good morning, Dave.
So, of course, not a law yet. It's still State Question 820. As you're reading through this, and it's publicly available, by the way, Secretary of State's website, what were your takeaways from it?
Well, just generally, right, it will legalize, regulate, and tax recreational marijuana for adults over 21 years old. Right now, medical marijuana is for those 18 and over. So 21 and over, a 15% tax that will go to our school system, healthcare systems, and to local government. And I know generally some people are asking, well, hold on, don't we already tax medical marijuana? Why do we need to make it recreational? Well, there's a lot more money in taxing recreationally, because in order to have a medical marijuana license, it's about $250. And that cuts out a lot of people. So say a low wage, maybe someone who works at Whataburger, can't sleep at night, they smoke a little marijuana to help them with their insomnia, and their whole check for 2 weeks might only be $250. So are you going to spend that $250 to buy a medical marijuana license, or are you going to spend it to buy the antidote that helps you sleep? And so essentially there's a lot of people buying marijuana already that don't have a medical marijuana license, and the state isn't seeing the tax benefit of that.
Okay, so recreational marijuana, we will not have to have a license, a medical card, if it becomes recreational.
Right, correct. And you will be able to have up to an ounce of marijuana as well as 6 plants.
And an ounce of marijuana, so tell me what that means. So if I'm walking on the street and maybe I get stopped by law enforcement, if this recreational law passes, I could have an ounce on my person for any reason, and it wouldn't be a possession misdemeanor.
That's absolutely right. It's going to have huge implications for decriminalization. Those with past convictions for marijuana-related offenses or those who are currently incarcerated for cannabis-related offenses can petition the court for expungement of their records or resentencing. And that's major because essentially the same man who works at Whataburger, maybe he smokes a little bit after he gets off work and then gets into his car and drives home, and he's pulled over by the police. Well, when a police officer smells marijuana, now they have probable cause to search your car. Currently, they say, do you have a medical marijuana license? If the answer is yes, then they'll let you go on about your way. And they want to see, proof. Yeah. But if you don't, then now they have cause to search your car. They can, basically seize money that you have, and you could end up with some criminal consequences and be prosecuted. So just the difference between $250 for a card and not having that could be the difference in a world of legal troubles.
In terms of the decriminalization and the expungement, so we're talking about, if this recreational law passes in March, we're talking about past offenses. You can go back, you can go before a court and try to get past offenses expunged.
Absolutely, and it's not all marijuana-related offenses, of course. If you were, distributing pounds across state lines and what have you, that's not something that it's not going to legalize that. But yeah, mere possession.
And this wouldn't, obviously, it's a state law, so it wouldn't apply to interstate commerce or anything like that.
Correct. It's still federally illegal, although I hear that they're working on that.
We'll see, and I wanted to ask about, in terms of people have federal jobs. So what does the law say, the potential law, again, the State Question 820, what does State Question 820 say about employers and employees and what that dynamic is going to be in terms of marijuana?
So most people are at-will employees. Essentially, an employer can have any number of requirements for you to remain an employee. And if one of those requirements is you have to pass a drug test, including negative for THC, otherwise you're not going to get the job, then that's their right. However, you're probably not going to lose your job over just one positive THC test if that's the only thing. But of course, just like with alcohol that's legal, you can't be drinking on the job, you can't come to work impaired, those types of things. So those are fireable offenses. And like you said, if you're a federal employee, it's federally illegal, so you have no protection under the state law.
So in terms of the medical marijuana, that is happening right now. That has already been in place for several years, but recreational marijuana, again, will be on the ballot in March in the form of State Question 820. And Attorney Alexis Gardner, we thank you for your time, and it's an enlightening conversation here.
Always a pleasure to be here, Dave.